morning, Mackie. For lunch today, we're having Crispito chicken tenders and deli sandwich. And for weather today, it's 38 for the high, 29 for the low, and rainy. And for moon phases of February, we're gonna have a waxing gibbous. For news today, yearbooks are on sale now. They are $13. Bring your money and reserve your copy today. Teachers, yellow paper should put in your box about yearbooks. If a student brings money, send them to Miss McHenry rooms at B115 or B115. Teachers, please show the Holocaust videos each day this week. They will not be on the announcement. They will be on the announcement website. And also, our reading competition has started, so read those if you want to go. Third and fifth if you want to go to a soccer game. And it's free. So that's a good deal. Today's Why Wednesday. Why are exams important? Exams are very important. Many students are studying because exams have their major role in providing necessary qualities in life such as hard work, patience, creativeness, and leadership. This makes them able to overcome their weakness in order to be successful in life. Bye. Have a good day.
Alright guys, I'm bringing you the book Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is one of my most recent favorites, and it's a new series that there are 2 out right now, and there's about to be a 3rd one. I want to read you the summary on the back first, because it gives you a little hint at what comes later in the book. So Morrigan Crow is cursed. Born on Eventide, the unluckiest day for any child to be born, Morrigan is blamed for all local misfortunes, and worst of all, the curse dooms her to die at midnight on her 11th birthday. But as Morrigan awaits her fate, a remarkable man named Jupiter North appears, whisking her away into the safety of a secret magical city called Nevermore. It's in Nevermore that Morrigan discovers she must contend for a place in the city's most prestigious organization, the Wondrous Society. Morrigan must compete in 4 dangerous trials against hundreds of other children, or she'll have to confront her deadly fate. Alright, I'm going to read you the prologue. Spring of 1. The journalist arrived before the coffin did. They gathered at the gate overnight, and by dawn they were a crowd. By 9 o'clock they were a swarm. It was near midday before Corvus Crow made the long walk from his front door to the tall iron rails keeping them at bay. Chancellor Crow, will this affect your plans to run for re-election? Chancellor, how soon will the burial take place? Has the president offered condolences? How relieved do you feel this morning, Chancellor? Please, Corvus interrupted, holding up a leather-gloved hand to silence them. Please, I wish to read a statement on behalf of my family. He pulled a piece of paper from the pocket of his smart black suit. We wish to thank you, the citizens of our great republic, for your support over the past 11 years. He read in a clear, authoritative voice, honed by years of demanding order in the chancery. This has been a trying time for our family, and the distress will no doubt linger for some time yet. He stopped to clear his throat, looking up for a moment at his hushed audience. A sea of camera lenses and curious eyes gleamed back at him, a ceaseless assault of flashes and clicks. The loss of a child is difficult to bear, he continued, returning to his notes, not only for our family, but for the townspeople of Jackalfax, who we know share in our grief. At least 50 pairs of eyebrows shot upwards, and a few embarrassed coughs broke the momentary silence. But this morning, as we welcome the 9th age of the Wintersea Republic, know that the worst is behind us. There was a sudden, loud caw from overhead. Shoulders hunched and faces flinched, but nobody looked up. The birds had been circling all morning. The 8th age took from me my beloved first wife, and now it has taken my only daughter. Another piercing caw. One reporter dropped the microphone he was thrusting in the Chancellor's face and scrambled noisily to pick it up. He turned pink and mumbled an apology, which Corvus ignored. However, he continued, it has also taken with it the danger. doubt, and despair that plagued her short life. My dear Morrigan, he paused to grimace, is finally at peace, and so must we all be. The town of Jackalfax, indeed the entire state of Great Wolfacre, is safe again. There is nothing to fear. A murmur of uncertainty rippled through the crowd, and the onslaught of camera flashes seemed to slow. The Chancellor looked up at them, blinking. His paper rustled in a slight wind, or perhaps it was his hand shaking. Thank you. I will not be taking questions. I'll read you just the first section of Chapter 1. Chapter 1, The Cursed Crow, winter of 11, 3 days earlier. The kitchen cat was dead, and Morrigan was to blame. She didn't know how it had happened, or when. She thought perhaps he'd eaten something poisonous overnight. There were no injuries to suggest a fox or dog attack. Apart from a bit of dried blood at the corner of his mouth, he looked like he was sleeping, but he was cold and stiff. When she found his body in the weak winter morning light, Morrigan crouched down beside him in the dirt, a frown creasing her forehead. She stroked his black pelt from the top of his head to the tip of his bushy tail. "Sorry, kitchen cat," she murmured. Morrigan thought about where best to bury him, and whether she could ask grandmother for a bit of nice linen to wrap him in. Probably best not to, she decided. She'd use one of her own nightshirts. Cook opened the back door to give yesterday's scraps to the dogs, and was so startled by Morrigan's presence she nearly dropped her bucket. The old woman peered down at the dead cat and set her mouth in a line. "Better his woe than mine, praise be to the divine," she muttered, knocking on the wooden doorframe and kissing the pendant she wore around her neck. She glanced sideways at Morgan. "I liked that cat." "So did I," said Morrigan. "Oh, yes, I can see that." There was a bitter note in her voice, and Morrigan noticed she was backing away, inch by wary inch. "Go on now, inside. They're waiting for you in his office." Morrigan hurried into the house, hovering for a moment near the door from the kitchen to the hallway. She watched Cook take a piece of chalk and write "Kitchen cat, dead" on the blackboard, at the end of a long list that most recently included spoiled fish, Old Tom's heart attack, floods in North Prosper, and gravy stains on best tablecloth.
All right, 3rd through 5th grade, record 6 minutes and 8 seconds.
Please stand for the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.